All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Master Bostic coming at you with a another tutorial. Today we're going to be doing some Illustrator, and this is for the TSA class. Today we've been working with bridges, and right now what you see is a drawing of a 12-inch span Howe bridge, Howe truss bridge that you're going to be creating in Adobe Illustrator. So you're going to be making these three views: your side view, your top view, and your front view. And you're basically just going to be making exactly what you see here. So we're going to be making it in Adobe Illustrator, which is a 2D vector program. It's not traditionally what you would make this in, but this is what we have, and you can, as you can see, make it come out looking pretty good. So we're just going to attack this and get it going. So first you got to open up Illustrator, and in Illustrator we're going to create a new file. So file new, and in there I've been doing some work. I want your artboards at 1. The size, we're going to use a tablet size. So this automatically comes in with a width of 11, a height of 17 inches. That's fine, but we want it to be in landscape orientation. So orientation, click on the one for landscape. I don't know if it tells you landscape or not. Let's see. Nope, it doesn't. But no, it's the one that's sideways. All right. And you hit OK. Boom. There it is. All right. Now, what you need to know when you're making things in Illustrator is everything is basically rectangles. So I mean, you're going to be using this tool a lot, the rectangle tool. All right, so if you click on the rectangle tool, normally what you would do is you click and drag a box. All right, but in this case we're not going to do that. What you want to do is just put your cursor on your screen and just click and release one time. All right, and that's going to let you put in the increments for the piece that you want. So let's look at our thing. The first thing we're going to make this bottom piece. So that's piece C. So if you look at C, you see we have two of them. It's 1/8 by 1/4 dimensions, and it's a 12-inch piece. So if you look at this, you see, okay, 12 inches, this is the longest direction it is. So that's probably your 12-inch dimension versus being 1/8 by 1/4. All right, so this piece of wood is 12 inches this way. You got 1/4 this way, and then the third dimension, which would be straight back, is your 1/8. All right, so we need to make it 12 inches by 1/8 tall. So if we go in here and we say, okay, so left and right according to this dimension, 2D, that will be your width, because this would be wide. So width, I'm going to make 12. My height, I need it to be 1/8 of an inch. If you go to Edmodo, you can see, and I'm going to give you this to you guys. I've already given you this here, which is the drawing, because it's too small to work with. I'm going to give you a copy of this in my Dropbox. But you're looking at 1/8, so you find 1/8, that is, as a decimal, 0.125. So go back to Illustrator and do this at 0.125. Okay, boom, there's your piece. Okay, so we go here, just checking something. All right, now what you can do, and what I can, because it doesn't exactly look right. Oh, because it's not 1/8, it's 1/4. Haha, just kidding. Sorry. 12 inches, 1/4. Think of it like money. If you had to do 1/4 of money, that's kind of the way I think about it. 1/4 is going to be 25 cents. A fourth of a dollar is a quarter. So 0.25. So instead of 0.125, it's 0.25. There we go. All right, we got our piece of wood. Now, the next thing we're going to make is this top piece. All right, piece D. So D is that same dimension, 1/8 by 1/4, but it's 8 and 9/16 long. All right, so 8 and 9/16. We come here, we go to our rectangle tool, just click. Our width is going to be 8 and 9/16. So you're going to do 8 point, and then 9/16 in decimals is, you come on here, 9/16 is 0.5625. So you just put that in, 8.5625. Our height is still going to be that 1/4 of an inch. Okay, there it is. All right, I'm not going to be always be going up here clicking and switching, because it's faster if I just use my keyboard. To go back to your selection tool is the letter V as in Victor. So I just click on that and put that there. Boom. All right, got my top and bottom. Now I need these middle pieces. So if I go here, I can see, okay, to figure out how the space between these, I can use this, because this one touches the top of this piece E, this one touches the bottom of it. So E is a 1/8 by 1/8 piece of wood, and it's 3 inches. So that means my height, this is the longest number, 3 inches, and my width is going to be 1/8 of an inch. So, and to switch, if you want to switch, you can hold down your command key with your thumb and press the tab key with your pointer finger or middle finger or whatever, and just keep hitting tab until you get to the software you want, or you can come up here and click on it. All right, so I'm gonna go to my rectangle tool, and if you see the rectangle tool, the shortcut is the letter M. So click on it. My height was 3, correct? Let me just double check. For E, the height is 3 inches. So my height is no longer going to be 0.25. I'm just going to put in 3. My width should be 1/8, which in decimal form is 0.125. 0.125. Boom, there's my piece. Now what I can do is come in here, and I've got my smart guides on. Now, a lot of times I use, wow, I did that pretty darn well. Look at that. It's lined right up. You got, wow, forgot what I was doing. These green things that pop up as I'm moving around, those are called smart guides. I don't normally use them. A lot of times they get in my way. But if you want to use them, sometimes they can be helpful. If you go to View and you see Smart Guides, if it's checked off, that means it's going to be showing your Smart Guides. If you don't want them, click it and the check mark will go away. All right. So, wow, I did that pretty good. All right. If you don't get it lined up exactly, all you got to do is zoom in. I hit my Z key, goes to my my zoom tool, and I can just drag a box over that area I want to see, and it'll show it to me. Then I can do V and just line these up. Now, what I typically do is I'll use a smaller stroke. Come in, zero, zoom out. I'll just grab it all, go to my stroke, and I might use like a 0.5 just because it gives me more accurate because it's thinner. So I'll go here, Z, I line that up, and if I need to move up, I can just command minus spacebar turns to your hand tool, so I can click and drag while holding down my spacebar, and then that gives me here. I can now move this and get them to touch. Now, I need these to be lined up on each other on the centers. Alright, if you put your cursor on the shape and you click it, notice you'll get these little dots. This is the center of this piece, but notice it's not lined up. What I can do, since they're all going to be lined up together, once I get this done, I can just select all this, go to my align panel. So align is here. If you don't have it here, you can always go to your window menu and click on align. I'm going to go on this line of things, align. This one distributes. You don't want to use distribute right now. Go to align, and I want to align them on the center horizontally. So horizontal align center. Click that, and then we'll now line up. Notice that the dot on this one is lined up directly on top of this one, and the middle line of this one is lined up. So now they're all even. So now Let's see, my E, how many do I have? I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like it tells me up here. Well, I need 10 up here, but for this part, I need 5. And that was lined up even. So I know that I'm going to need 5 of them. I might come over here and just duplicate them. Now, to duplicate them, I want to make a copy of them. I don't want them to stay exactly where they are horizontally. So I'm going to hold down my Option key, which when I put my cursor on, you see the 2 arrows. That means it's going to duplicate. Click and hold, and I start dragging. Now, right now, I can move it anywhere I want. I'm still holding my Option key, but I'm going to add another finger and hold down Shift, and that forces it to stay horizontally. Alright, so I know I need 5, so I just do 1, duplicate it again, 2, click here, duplicate it, 3, and 4. Alright, there I have it. Now, I know the center one is where I want it to be, but I don't know about these ones here. So I know if I look at my design, I know that I'm going to have a piece here going that same way. So B, I see is 1/8 by 1/8, and it's 3 7/16 long. Remember, this is not an engineering program, so some of these numbers are not going to be exact. They're just the closest range. So what I normally do is I'll make these and I'll just make them extra long, and then I'm going to show you how to get them where you want them to be. So it's 1/8 by 1/8, but 3 7/16. I'm just going to make it 4. Alright. So I go to my shape tool, click and release. My height is going to be 4. Enter. Alright. Now here's what I'm going to do. To get these angles, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to line it up like this and zoom in and just get it. Now, if you look at your example, notice the outside of this piece of wood here is lined up with the top corner of this one. You don't want it to hang over because it's a bridge. It's going to not be strong. You want it lined up here. So I'm just going to do that same thing here. Just take it and line it up so that they match. Now comes the part that you gotta pay attention to. I am now, zoom out a little bit more. I'm now going to rotate this. So if I go to my rotate tool in my toolbar, alright, or press letter R, I click it and you notice I get this little light blue thing here in the middle, and it says center. I can take that is called my origin. If I was to rotate this right now, notice it moves around that origin. Alright, but I don't need it to move like that. I mean, I've now moved this bottom corner, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to undo, grab that origin, and I'm going to put it right here where those 2 pieces meet. So as you can see, my origin is right here. Okay. Now, if I rotate it, I'm rotating it, and that corner stays there. Okay. Now, if I look at my design, that bottom corner is there. The top corner lines up with that. So I'm just going to zoom in here, and I'm still going to rotate, and I'm just going to line it up. All right. And some of it you're going to eyeball it a little bit, but there it is. Now, I see I've got it where I want it. Now, obviously the wood's not going to be able to do this. You're going to be cutting angles on this wood to make it line up. So to do that, I'm going to take this piece here that I've selected, go back to my selection tool, and right now it's overlapping the other one. I need to be able to see this line so I know where to cut it off. So I'm going to change my fill to none. And I'm going to zoom in, go down here to the bottom. And this piece, I know it's where I want it to be, so I'm going to lock that layer. So I just select it, and I can go into my layer 1 and uncollapse it. And remember, anything that you select, notice over here, there's no boxes over here. If I select this piece, the box pops up on the sub layer of that piece. So I know that that's it. So I can lock that piece. And you might want to go ahead and just lock all the pieces that you know you don't want to move. So this one's not locked. This one's locked now. I can't select it. This top piece, I'll lock it so it's there. Boom. And I know my center one here wants to be locked. Boom. Alright, so those pieces aren't going to get messed up. I can't even select them. So come in here and I say, okay, select it. I got my first anchor point there. I know it's there. I need to get rid of this piece, this bit. Alright, so just like when we learned in Illustrator, we can add anchor points. We're going to go to our add anchor point tool, and we're going to add an anchor point right on this line where these two lines intersect, and just click one time. Now I've got an anchor point there. Now to get rid of this extra piece, I just want to delete this anchor point. Alright, so I'm on my pen tool. If I just hold down my add anchor point tool, to delete anchor point, to go to my delete anchor point tool, if I just hold down my option key, notice the plus now changes to a minus. So if I hold it and click on this anchor point is now gone. Alright, now you're gonna see a little bit of overlap here. Personally, I don't really care about that, because when you zoom out, you're not gonna see that that's hanging over there. Alright, this is to give you the gist so that when you build your bridge, you have something, a reference. Alright, so it don't have to be perfect. You just want a reference. So zoom in here, do the same thing here. Select my piece, go to my add anchor point tool. This one's where I want it to be. This one is where I need to cut off. So just add an anchor point there. Option, delete. Oopsie. Sorry, this one I don't have an anchor point here, so I need to add one in that corner. And then option, delete, delete. There it is. And it looks pretty good. Now that you've got that there, you now know, if you look at your design, this E is butted up against that. So we'll just take our E, hold shift, and just put it there. Boom. Alright. Now we go to our next one. This is an F. F is 1/8 by 1/8 by 3 9/16. I'm just gonna make it by 4. So really you could just make one. So 4, boom. And now what I'll do is I'll just leave this as a template. I'll just move it off to the side here and then duplicate it to get it in here. And then from there, I just set it where I need it to go. Zoom tool, grab it, and put it so that it lines up where you want it. Then zoom out, go to your rotation tool, grab that, your origin, command plus, and put that origin in that corner where you want this to stay put, the spot that you want it to revolve around. And now I can come in here and I can angle it. Now the problem is you don't exactly know where this is. Here's where you're going to start using that measurement that we went over. Where is it? Alright, so you see this right here, this goes over. Now what you can do is, this is halfway. Is when you're dealing with bridges, you want to use symmetry. So this E is halfway between these two E's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, now when we use that align, we had that align, these are your align tools. Now we're going to use this distribute. So what you do is, if you select both of these parts, now I have to unlock this one because that's where that is. If I hit the eyeball, the piece I'm trying to, that layer is on, will disappear. And that lets me know that that's the one that I want. This one is disappearing because that's the center. So I'll unlock it, select that one, hold shift, select the one that I need to get where it needs to go, and grab this one. Now when you distribute, the two end pieces will not move. It will just take this center piece and put it in the center of where you're trying to go, of the center of these two pieces. So if I go to my distribute, I want to distribute center horizontally. So if I click that, boom. Now this piece is exactly between these two pieces, and that now lets me know where this piece needs to go. Alright, so those three pieces are where I want them to be. I can go in here and lock, and instead of just clicking and releasing these ones, if I just go to the bottom one, click and hold and drag up, it will automatically lock those other pieces. So now I can come in here, come back to my rotation tool. Since I got off of it, my origin goes back to the center, so I need to zoom down. I need to move that origin back to here where I want it. And if you need to, you can zoom in tight just to make sure you're in the right spot. Zoom back out and line it up, and just take a look at your reference. Outside goes to this corner, that outside stays and goes into the corner. So you want to make sure that you put this so that the side of that lines up with the corner. Alright, now to make sure to cut it off where you need to be cut off, set the fill to none, add anchor point tool, come in here. There's no anchor point here, but you know this is where it's got to cut off, so you add an anchor point there, you add an anchor point where these two connect. Option to go to your delete anchor point tool, delete these two pieces, boom. Alright, there you go. Like I said, don't worry about this. You could come in and fix it. I think on mine I probably did, just because that's how I do it. But you could just drag this down holding shift, drag it down a little bit until that little spike goes off. Alright, or you could come in here to the stroke and change your cap. Get off of my V. Or not cap, the corner. By changing the corner, I changed it to, what is that? I don't know what that one is called, what that's called. Bevel, miter joint, round joint. Alright, and that got rid of that spike. So I mean, if you wanted, you probably could do that same thing to here for those corners that I'm holding my space bar for, like that corner there. Change your stroke to round and it'll get rid of that. So there you go. Alright, so when I was looking at my stroke, I originally saw just this. If you put your cursor on the word of the name of that panel and you double click, it toggles you through the different views of that panel. So just go to where you can see your corner and change it to round join if you want. Alright, I'll probably give you extra credit if you are if you go take that extra step and round those off. But so come in here, zoom, boom, select our shape. We're gonna go to add anchor point tool. That spots already has an anchor point. That spots. Add an anchor point at this point here. Option, delete, boom. Alright. And you get the idea. So you go in there, you go there. You're gonna need another one here. It should be the exact same as this one. So if I object, go, boom. There it is. Simple as that. Now this other side, you're gonna have to do the same that you did over here, but over here. So we have our masterpiece that we use, our default piece or whatever you want to call it. Option, make a copy of it. Put it over here. Zoom. Line that guy up. There it is. Zoom out a little bit. Go to my rotation tool so I can get my origin. And remember, I'm using Command plus to zoom in, put my origin where I want it to revolve from, minus, and line it up. Alright, now it's easier if you change your fill to none now so you can see it, and that allows you to line it up with a little better accuracy. And remember, when in doubt, zoom in. There's nothing wrong with zooming in so that you can get it exactly where you want it. Boom. Alright, and then your add anchor point tool. You need an anchor point on this spot there, that spot there. Zoom out, option, get rid of those other pieces. Alright, and there you go. Now you can now take this and put it where it needs to go, holding shift to make it only go horizontally. Line it up, boom. Now you need to get this one in the middle of there, so you gotta grab these other pieces, so you gotta unlock that piece there. And what you can do, which I should have done, is you name your sub pieces. So I can try to find that center. There it is. So I'm gonna name that side, because this is my side view, center vertical, side center vertical. So I know that that's the side view center vertical piece. Alright, and unlock that, select it, shift, select, and use my distribute vertical, horizontal distribute center, and there it goes. Alright, I'm gonna lock that piece back down. All these other two pieces are where I want them, so I can go ahead and lock those. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did on the other side. Grab my piece here, duplicate it. Let's get it lined up where I need it. Zoom in, V for my selection tool, and go ahead and line it up. Now for this, I would suggest turning on your smart guides, because it's going to help snap it to where you want it. Alright, and then just zoom out enough so that you can see that point there. Go to your rotation tool and put it where it needs to go. If that happens, undo, Command Z. Make sure you grab that spot and put it where you want it to go. Alright, minus, and that's all there is to it, guys. You're just doing this until you get everything created that you see on your design. Fill to none and just line it up. Sorry, hit the mic. Go to my add anchor point tool, zoom in, add an anchor point where it connects on those two spots. Option, delete anchor point tool, and there it goes. And then I've got that spike, so if I just change my corner to round, got it. Alright, and then this is going to should be the same exact piece. So option, hold option to make a duplicate. Oh wait, I didn't clear that part yet, so I'm going to undo that. Do I still have two? Nope. Undo. I didn't do it on that one either. Alright, I messed that up there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna modify it. Grab my anchor point tool and move it there. Alright, what I really could do is I could just use my rotation tool and rotate this piece. I was being lazy, but don't be lazy. So I'm not being lazy, so you shouldn't be lazy. So you're going to take your origin from here and put it up here at this corner, the top corner. So this is why you want to make sure you zoom in, because I wasn't exactly on that corner when I did my rotation. So now I see I'm actually on that corner. And I want to rotate it. To get it in there where it should be. Alright, and by doing that, it's probably going to move. Oh, nope, didn't move it. Very good. Alright, so now I just add my anchor point to that spot there, delete that anchor point, and I'm good. Alright, I did realize that I did not cut this one off here, so plus to go to the add anchor point tool, boom, option, delete anchor point tool, there it goes. Alright, and see, I mean, you're sitting here watching me. I mean, it's nothing hard. You just gotta be patient and take some time and do it. Selection tool, take this option and move that over. Alright, and there it is. That is your side view 100%. Well, not 100%. There's still some pieces to make, but the majority of your side view is done. The only thing you have left are your piece A's. Now these pieces are horizontal pieces that are going, notice this lines up exactly with this. So from the top view, you're seeing it go horizontal. These pieces A's are 1/8 by 1/8. Now the length doesn't matter because the length is dealing with your top view. So all you're seeing here is 1/8 by 1/8. So those are really quick and easy to make. Go ahead and click there. 1/8 as a decimal is 0.125. So your width is 0.125. Your height is 0.125. Enter. There's your piece. And then all you got to do is put it in the right spot. It's a lot easier. Just zoom in, make sure you grab the actual line. If you don't have a fill, sometimes if you do have a fill, it won't let you grab it, but you don't want to grab the center because there's nothing there. You actually have to click on a line and put it in its spot. Alright, so you'll just have to make reference to here to see where all do you have A's. Alright, I will go ahead and just do these top 2 A's because you're going to need to do your measurements to find out where these A's go. Alright, so that's it for the first one. Go ahead and let's knock this out, and on the next video I will get you started on your top view.